Hi, I'm Natalie Rush, and today I will be telling you about the culture of South Korea. Now let's talk about the political system of South Korea. They have a pluralistic, democratic presidential system based on the Constitution of the Republic of Korea. Their president is elected through a popular vote every 5 years by anyone over 20 years old, and the president serves for one term. They have a responsibility for all important government policies. They are the chief executive of the government, and they appoint a prime minister. The two biggest political parties in the country include the ruling Saenuri Party, which are the right-wing conservatives, and the Democratic Party, which are the liberals. Some of the smaller parties include the Progressive Freedom Party, the Liberal Democrats Party, and the Korea Renewal Party. Let's now talk about South Korea's economic systems. South Korea has the fourth largest economy in Asia and the 11th in the world in terms of GDP. They have a mixed economy, and throughout the years, export-oriented economics have fueled their economy. They are the global leader of consumer electronics as well, and I will mention more about their economy in the coming slides. Moving on to legal systems. So South Korea's law is based on the Constitution of Korea. This was established in 1948, and it was partially influenced by the American legal system. Their legal system is also based on a civil law system, and there's a balance in checks among the president, parliament, and judiciary. The court system tiers include the Supreme Court, which is the court of last resort, the appellate courts, which are the high courts, and the district courts, including branch courts. And the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the president and parliament, and Korea legal systems actually don't have a jury. I now want to make mention of a few determinants of South Korea's economic development. A few of the major contributing factors for their development include a high accumulation of physical and human capital, a high savings rate, and an expert-led development strategy. So like I said, annually there was a bunch of export growth. And the high rates of saving and investment, along with a strong emphasis on the need for education, drove this rapid development of the economy. A couple more factors that have contributed to the increase in international trade and industrialization in South Korea would be an improvement in the business environment and policies that incentivize investment and innovation. South Korea actually is one of the largest economical transformations over the past 60 years. It went from a resource-poor, low-income nation to a high-income economy. This began in 1961 under the military government of General Park Chung-hee. He was determined to end the country's poverty and focused on acquiring technological skills through promoting technological education. Korea's gross national income increased from $67 in the early 1950s to over $30,000 in 2018. Now I'm going to tell you about some of the implications of the changing political economy. South Korea kind of took a hit in 1979 with the assassination of their president, Park Chung-hee. Although he ran a military dictatorship, he was the one that orchestrated the economic development in their country. Chun Do-hwan took over, but he was another military dictator, and the people pushed even more for democratization. In 1987, a presidential election was held, and Roh Tae-woo became president. This symbolized the final transition to democracy. The switch had many positive effects on Korean society and politics, including the freedom of speech and improvements in human rights. Tell me a little bit about the education system in South Korea, from really little kids all the way up to adults.
We have a preschool and like kindergarten and elementary school, 6 years. But the difference is we have 3 years of middle school and also like 3 years of high school.
Would you say that they study more in South Korea than kids here in the United States?
It's really competitive. And it's really small country. You have like kind of less opportunity to do something new. Their mindset is like study is the only way you can go.
Yeah.
So it's more like competitive, and that competitiveness makes people study more. That causes school to be harder because everyone's like trying so hard, like they have to make assignment harder or any like test harder. So
would you say everyone there is educated?
most of them try really hard, and also not just school, they also do secondary schooling. Like after school they go academy, they pay more. It's really expensive if you choose really good academy. Even though you can't afford it, some people still go some little academy. Or if you're really, really like poor, or like you can't really afford anything, then maybe you just have to study with your just school teachers. But like definitely academy helps you to follow school more. Yeah, sometimes teachers just assume that, oh, you guys just learned this in academy. So like sometimes they teach less.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So yeah, I don't like it much.
Yeah, lots of learning. Wow. Moving on from education, I also wanted to ask you, what is the social structure like in South Korea?
We are democracy, so we don't really have like hierarchy like we used to, but not now. We have president, but we don't really have like Senate or like House of Representatives. Don't really have like hierarchy or anything like that.
Is family really important? Do people like live with multiple generations, or?
Korea is kind of influenced a lot with Confucianism, like Taoism, like Confucianism, like they're really based on that. So we respect elderly a lot. Like people go nursing house when they're old here, you know. But we try not to send them there. So we still can provide them some money so they can like be with us still, because we think it's respectful way.
Yeah, that's really cool.
To carry them. Yeah.
What are the like major religions of South Korea?
Me, because my dad's pastor. Around me, it's a lot of Christians. Still, a lot of people believe in Buddhism. Actually, we have Buddha birthday in Korea, so we don't have school that day. But I like it because I don't have to go to school. But but it's affected a lot, like throughout history, and still affects society.
Would Buddhism largely affect like the government's laws and rules?
I don't think so. Not really.
What is the language most commonly spoken in South Korea?
Korean.
Okay. And is that the only language?
We use the Chinese words.
Okay.
It's combined, but it's Korean.
Is there anything else I should know about South Korea's culture?
One thing I told was they respect elderly, and one thing kind of shocked me was we don't like tan skin. They want to be like whiter, like pale. They like pale skin, so they like do makeup really white. And I came here, I was like, oh, everyone likes tanning. Why they complain about being pale? Like that's so pretty, like being white. Why they hate their skin? Because they were complaining I'm so pale. but now I get it. So it was kind of like culture shock. Like, oh.
Yeah. Besides that, was there anything like huge that was shocking to you as you came to America from South Korea?
I'll say medical bill. Everyone knows it's really expensive here. I was shocked that when you just see a doctor, like it costs over 200 at least. In Korea, if you're a citizen, you have like insurance, so government covers everything.